I am really happy to be here in this very good afternoon. Yes, it's a very wonderful afternoon over here. Though it was very some minutes now to be evening. Just in case you hear me saying towards this evening, and you're like, So I was invited to speak, and I was supposed to talk on the subject of peoples. The subject of peoples. Yeah, and I noticed one thing. But because of God, I've been privileged to lead, especially in student environment like this. And sometimes, when you see leaders in an institution or a fellowship or a group, invite a speaker, there is something the leaders want to achieve, or there is a particular goal they have in mind that they want to achieve. And sometimes I've been in a situation where the person that was invited decided to speak something else. So what he was invited to do. So it was like, okay, the program was a success, but the leaders did not achieve what they wanted to achieve. And the truth is that the leaders know the group they are leading or the people they are leading very well. To some extent, if they want to be truthful to themselves, to know the demands of their people. So basically, I was called to discuss the subject matter of peoples. And other people will be speaking on several aspects. But well, since I will not be speaking for long, I just want to say, discovering of purpose entails so many things. I want to assume that since this is an academic area, and everybody, we are all our institutions, so I want to assume we know the meaning of peoples. The Bible was talking to Jeremiah, God was talking to Jeremiah and said that before your mother conceived thee, that I knew you and I ordained you a prophet unto myself. You have to understand that whether you're a believer, you are not a believer, you don't think God exists or not, and there is a reason beyond you. There is a reason beyond you why you exist on this planet. Whether you accept it or not, there is a reason beyond you why you exist on this planet. And when you begin to work towards discovering this reason, and when you now begin to say you are beginning to realize there is a need for a purpose, there is a need for a reason for your life. That is why we now begin to talk about purpose finding series or purpose finding path. And the truth is, Miles Monroe said that once the purpose of a thing is not known, the abuse is inevitable. And that's the truth. You see the way some many young people today, when I was seated here, I saw the way some people walked in, they were dragging their feet. I just want to, sorry to use the word, they were just lazy in. They were walking, but there was no zeal. They were coming here, but they had no zeal. They had they don't have a particular thing they wanted to achieve. They just wanted to be here for being here, and many of us are like that. But I want to let you know this afternoon that there is a why for every life. There is a why for everything. You see, the why, that is WHY, is the reason behind every action, every choice you will make. And the truth is, your life has a why. My life has a why. The life of the person seated next to you has a why. Jeremiah was called to be a prophet unto the nation, right? What is your own why? What is your own why? What is their own purpose? Many people, they shy away from this thing, and the next thing they do, when you tell them about purpose, they begin to say, motivational speaker, leave me alone. This has nothing to do with motivational speaking. If you don't find the why of your life, you have no direction. If you don't find the why of your life, you have no drive. If you don't find the why of your life, you have no motivation. You see, you will live a lawless life. You will live a life without principle. And that life without principle, there are eternal principles, there are practical principles that guide a life to achieving why. But once you have not discovered your why, it is difficult for you to apply principles in your life. Once you don't discover the why of your life, it is difficult for you to live by principle. It is difficult for you to walk with zeal towards anything. It is difficult for you to walk passionately towards your future. I don't know. People confuse this idea of purpose with career. For God's sake, what you are studying, anybody can study that course. There are few people who will study that course as a result of purpose. And there are a lot of people too who will study that course as a result of career or career choice. Career is different from purpose. But once you discover a purpose on time, you can make your purpose your career and it will go. That is why I hear somebody will tell you, I study so thing, but this is what I'm doing. Then you begin to wonder how, why. So now, the question before is, have you discovered your why? Have you discovered your why? Have you discovered the purpose for which your life? You see, the purpose, another very simple definition of purpose is the reason why a thing is made, or the purpose for which, or the reason, or the reason why a thing is made, or the reason why a process is embarked upon. Whether you believe in the Big Bang theory, the Big Bang theory happened that you may come and have an effect, because if everything remains stagnant without no force applied to it, nothing will change in your life. It means that if you don't take a step right now, nothing will happen in your future. So if you believe in the Big Bang theory, fine. But if you believe in God, you know that there's a reason why God made you. There's a reason why God put you on this planet. It doesn't matter if your parents tried to abort you. It doesn't matter if they didn't want to have you. It was a mistake. There is a reason why you made it. There is a reason why you survived. Some of us, you have gone through afflictions, you have gone through abuse, you have gone through so many negative things. Those things seem like they wanted to break you or kill you, but they didn't. It is because the purpose of your life is bigger than those circumstances. Whether you know it or not, now I am telling you, for the fact that you now know it right now is not the reason why you must begin to walk. Or those circumstances will overshadow you. Because now you have the knowledge. You might have survived the act of ignorance and God sustain you. Now you have the knowledge. You must deliberately and consciously work towards a particular goal, towards a particular future. So God made you for a reason. Have you found it? There is no set out way how to discover purpose. You might just read how to discover purpose, but truth is, people are discovering their purpose and life in different forms. Then you have to look for those who are found. There are people who are living a fulfilled life. You ask them, how did they get here? Anytime you wake up in the morning, there is something in you that you want to drop. There is something in you moving you. Your talent could be a direction towards your purpose, but not all the time. You must read about people who have discovered their purpose and begin to see how they discovered theirs. As I'm telling you that there is no clear-cut set out pattern of discovering purpose. How I discovered mine might not be applicable to you. But however, the consciousness to discover purpose is the first step to discovering your purpose. I said what? The consciousness to discover purpose is the first step towards the discovery of purpose. So if you live I am always keen about people living an absent-minded life. You see somebody, let me give you a typical example. You wake up in the morning, on Sunday morning, you take your bath. You prepare, you wear your perfume, you wear your clothes, you dress well. You just go to church. Have you noticed that sometimes when you are going to church, you don't have any goal at all? The thing is just Sunday and I'm going to church. There's no specific thing you want to achieve. But I tell you that every day, the day you go to church with an aim and say, God, today I just want to listen to the man of God. I just want to listen to what you have given the music ministers to say to me today. You begin to see that every part of the service begins to have meaning to you. That's how your life is. Any day you take a conscious step towards understanding life or understanding your purpose, that day life begins to reveal its meaning to you. God is ever ready to put an impression in your mind, to give you vision through dreams, through meditations, to minister to you via the word. Have you looked around in your environment or in your community to see where there are vacuums? The reason why you are able to discover the lapses in your community or in your family is because God is calling you to take care of those places, to take care of those little gaps. And they might be the ultimate reason why God is made you. In some families, they have never had anybody with a PhD, but you feel it impressed in your heart that you must study and get a PhD. It might be that your purpose is to break that curse, to break that limitation that have been in the family. That people study and finish first degree, they don't further. Or people finish secondary school, they don't further. People make small money and they fizzle away. They die poor. But there is something telling you, you have to rise now. You have to rise now. In the place of prayer, in the place of study, in the place of hard work, in the place of intelligence. You see, these things I'm mentioning, you might have taken them for granted, but they are a road to purpose. Conscious effort, tell yourself, I must discover who I am. And this began to be revealed to you. It depends on how we want to use your life. But if you ask God, God will show you what to do with your life to be relevant. What to do with your life to be useful to the generation yet unborn. Some of us, the way we are living our life, we are living for ourselves. We have no drive. Now I'm telling you, if you are here, you have no drive. Look at your mom, look at her face, look at the scars. They might not be literal on her face, but look at what she has gone through to bring you to this level. And then you are walking around all the entire streets of the university like you have no ambition, you have no future. You are trying to frustrate the effort of your parent. Every other person in your family is talking about you. Every other person is calling your name. But still you feel like they hate you. You see, your purpose is beyond you. There are lifestyle to you, no matter how you feel like this is your life. There are people that their happiness and joy are tied to what you do. And you must begin to respect these people. You must begin to respect how they feel. Some of us, the reason why we'll never go far is because the way we hurt our parents. In fact, the pain in their heart is enough to stand as a limitation against your life. I will not be wondering, we finished secondary school together with him, he got admission. No, I was supposed to have finished university, but I'm not able to finish due to reasons that, I don't know, your parents, they have complained. The bitterness in their heart has constituted a limitation to who you ought to be. But if you have a purpose, if you have a why, you have a drive, you will know that the person to fight with is not your father. The person to fight with is not your mother. The person to fight with is not your sibling that are working hard for you to succeed. You will know that yes, they are tied to your life. Their happiness to some certain extent depend on what you do with your life, and then you begin to fashion your life in such a reasonable and useful manner that will make everybody happy, and every good prayer will work for you. The idea of purpose is a very dicey topic. It has been handled by different people according to how they understand. But you must begin to make conscious efforts. You must begin to make deliberate effort in succeeding when it comes to the goal of purpose. Make conscious efforts. Look around your environment and discover those little gaps, those little loopholes that cover you can stand in between, or look around the nation. There is a place the country is lacking. If God is able to reveal that to you, it is because He wants to show you a thing, because He wants you to do a thing there. Stand up. Stop sleeping. And tell yourself, I am into discovering purpose. And once you discover the reason why God calls you, begin to grind. You begin to work hard towards it. And you must be deliberate about it. Sometimes when I tell people, my name is not Michael Ayuba, my name is Ayuba Michael, they are wondering why. Because I know Michael Ayuba is just a man name. But Ayuba Michael is a brand. And in that, I must consciously protect this brand. So when they are telling me, write your name, I'm saying, I have a way I write it. And this is how I want it to be. It is because I have a goal. I can see why the name should remain Ayuba Michael, not Michael Ayuba. There is no difference. Legally, there is no difference to you. But you must understand the concept of working hard deliberately about your future. For my purpose, it is necessary that name remain Ayuba Michael. For my future, it is necessary. For my children, it is necessary. For my wife, it is necessary. I know that, and I have known it, and I'm working towards it. And I know it will continue to be so. So you must be deliberate about your life in such a way that it will become like an obsession. I don't mean like nothing else happened in this life, but I mean that the idea about the purpose of your life, you must begin to take it personally. You must begin to work towards it deliberately and consciously. I was once writing my name on a piece on an attendance, and the man, because he felt he was older than me, he was trying to tell me how to write my name. I told him that no, this is my name, and this is how I want it to appear. He was like, no. I said, no, this is my name. And if I was below 18, I would have considered your stand. I am more than 18, I am more than 21, and this is how I've always written this name. And I have reasons beyond this particular attendance why I write my name like this. And it must be accepted because he is not seeing what I'm seeing. So you must learn to visualize, or you must learn to see where you're going. You must learn to see. Some of us, we just want to wake up one morning and wake up on a good mattress in a big house, but we are not doing anything towards it. So how? The purpose of your life demands a conscious effort. It demands a deliberate work towards the future. So let me ask you, so far, so good, what have you been doing? Okay, sir, I have not discovered my purpose. But the question is, what are you doing to discover it? Okay, sir, I've discovered my purpose, but I have not got the resources to start. I'm supposed to be a businessman, a billionaire. What are you doing to gather resources? Are you adding value to your life in such a way that somebody who has that resources will be willing to give them to you and trust you with those resources? Or you are just waiting for someone to say, my son, come and take 1 million and start business. The way you are living your life, the way your life is fashioned, the way you have positioned your life, is in such a way that if opportunity come and meets privilege, your life will be changed. Because you see, for you to be successful, you need opportunity, you need privilege, you need a customer, or you need a product. Now you are there, you believe God has called you to be a billionaire. You have never attempted any business in your life, and you are about graduating from the university because you're always afraid you fail, but you believe you will be a businessman, you will compete with Dangote, but you have never attempted to sell anything to anybody. In fact, your ability to convince people to buy a thing is difficult. You can't do it, and you are expected to control millions. How? You must rise. You must rise and begin to tell yourself, I am taking conscious effort, and I will look at those gaps and I'll begin to do something as soon as I discover my purpose. There are many people who try to run away from God. We all know how it ended. Some people, because they saw the burden in their family, it's like God showed them, your family, no reasonable man has come from this family. You must marry one wife and remain faithful to her. You will not drink, you will not smoke, because these things are for the purpose of your destiny, for the reason of your life. You ought not to do this thing. When they saw this thing, they because everybody is a drunk in the family, everybody smokes, everybody humanized in the family. They saw this vision, it was too heavy. They said, instead of going towards this vision, it's better for my life to be useless. So what they do is just become normal drunkards and smokers. They waste away their life. So the purpose of your life sometimes might even be heavier than you can carry, but you must learn to build stamina to stand to carry it. If not, you are finished. You will become another number to be counted in your family without relevance. The Bible was mentioning the name of people in First Chronicles chapter 4 verse. It said you began to mention name of people, mention name, and then but when he got to the place of Jabez, now said, but Jabez was a more honorable man than others. You see, it is the excellence that was found in his life, his ability to respond to his situation, to respond to purpose and call of destiny, that made him different. I say he was more honorable. What made him honorable was the fact that he didn't run away. He understood that this is the conditions I found myself. This is the situation of your family. But he said, no, Lord, enlarge my coast. And the Bible said that, hey, God, his life was changed. His life was changed. But you were asking God, show me my purpose. Show me. Immediately God showed you ran away. You became a coward. And that's why today your life is anyhow. You think you can run away from it. The effect is that you become a useless person. You just become a number. So if you don't want to be a number, then you must learn, you must build stamina. I don't mean going to the gym to gather 6 packs without nothing in your head. I don't mean going to the gym to gather 6 packs without nothing in your mind. Your mind is not strong. You are just gathering muscles. And that is, they are good, yes, physical exercise is good, but you need to gather mental stamina, you need to gather intellectual stamina, you need to gather spiritual stamina for you to reach. There are certain kind of destiny, there are certain kind of purposes that you need these kinds of stamina to withstand. Not 6 packs. 6 packs are good if you can have them. I don't want to overflog the matter because I was given just like 15 minutes to 20 minutes. The question before you is, have you discovered your why? Because if you discover your why, your passion will go ahead. When you have a reason, you will have passion. You are still working, you are dragging your feet. Go to church, you are dragging your feet. Go to lectures, you are dragging your feet. And nothing in this life, nothing serious in this life gets your attention unless when you want to play and while away time. That is why you run to the field hall, you run to the football pitch, but you don't run to the lecture hall, you don't run to your exam hall, you don't run to your test hall, you don't run to your lectures, you don't run to church, you don't run to business meetings, you don't run to anything that has to do, that has to be formal or important. But any other lousy thing, any other thing, your friend call you, I have gist, you can run, but you cannot run for your life, you cannot run for your destiny, you cannot run for your future. You must begin to see the people around you and begin to see the burden God has attached to you, and then begin to run. And begin to run, because immediately you get hold of your purpose, it is now time to run. For those that have been running without direction, may God give you direction in Jesus' name. May God open your eyes to see. May God what? Open your eyes to see. And then you begin to run in a purposeful run, not a useless run. Not a time-wasting run. Or time, see, you are sprinting for nothing. You are. See, I am so pained when I see people living life anyhow. It pains me that I want to talk. The words cannot come out properly. I can't pronounce certain words because I see people wasting their life. They say it's useful exuberance. From the age of 16, I tell you, you know what you are doing. Check back and remember when you were 16 years. You remember you were feeling like you were muscular, you had powers. Instead of focusing on your muscles and the freedom that comes with your age, you should have focused on what I will do with my life. If you have made that stage, it's not too late. Now, what do you want to do with your life? What are you doing with your life that will yield positive results to your children yet unborn? Because the Bible says a good man leaveth an inheritance for his children. That any man who cannot provide for his family is worse than infidel. I don't know who you want to be like. I don't know what you want to be like, but the Bible said a good man. That means if you want to be good, if you want to be somebody useful, then you must leave an inheritance. Then you must change the nature at which you approach life. You must change the way, the perspective from which you approach life. Imagine you are from a home that your father could not provide for you. And the Bible is saying he is worse than infidel, and you are going towards that direction again. Abba. Wake up, young man, wake up. Your future is earnestly waiting for you. Don't allow your people to die down. Don't allow the why of your life go away like that. There's a lot you can do. Whether you are 50, you are 60, you can still do something. As far as you are not dead, there is still hope for you. Jesus Christ prepared all his life for 30 years, for a ministry of 3.5 years. Though he has discovered his purpose, but the preparation took one. So if you think because you are 40, the time has gone, you are joking. It is possible your ministry is up to 10 years. It is possible it's up to 20 years. So Jesus' life was, he lived for 33 years and a half. And he spent 30 years getting ready. And look at the impact of his ministry. So the time you discover that you want to start going after purpose has no bearing. Though time has been lost, but there are mechanisms that it can be restored. But you must be willing to work extra, because those who discover their purpose at the age of 16 and those that discover at the age of 30 or 40, the effect will not be the same. The productivity and the output will not be the same. So if you are at 30, you discovered it late, or you are at 40 or 50, you must realize that the effort you are going to put in is more and should be more than those that discover at 20, 21, 22. They had people to guide them. Finally, the Bible said, by counsel purpose is established, by wisdom you wage war. Turn around and look. There are people who are doing well. You must not be aiming. There are people around you that are doing well. Ask them, what is the way forward? Stop undermining people who are serious with their life. You see your mates that they have discovered their people that are going after you. When they tell you about you, you laugh. You laugh at them. Man of God, barrister, doctor, prof, sir. You are making fun of them. People who have discovered their purpose, they are going after you. You are still confused, but you are making fun of them. Look around. Your friend can help you discover your purpose. It depends on what you're seeing in his life. Depends on what you're seeing. And nobody is too young to discover purpose. You could see in the Bible that Josiah at the age of 8 was a king. Do you ask yourself how did it become a king? That's why I told you from the beginning that the reason for your life is beyond you. Stop thinking your life is all about you. There are factors that accumulate into what becomes of your life, and you must take them into consideration as you make choices and make decisions. Thank you very much. God bless you. Good evening.